Hey lovelies, let me introduce myself. My name is Melanie Day. I am a licensed cosmetologist and trichologist, owner of You've Got Curls and Hair Loss Center located in Lexington, Kentucky. And if you haven't read the description below, I am sharing some tips as to how you can kind of restore your hair. Also, too, just answering the question, does hormonal medication um, does that affect your hair? What is your experience? And if you're on here, and if you're a woman, I'm sure you probably have experienced at some point in your life a side effect of hormone medication, uh, coming like after having a baby, experiencing postpartum alopecia, um, being on certain things, just being a woman in general, noticing the changes with their hair. So I personally wanted to share my experience and then what I've been doing to help myself along this road, and also kind of like give you some tips because I know a lot of us as salon professionals, we see a lot of clients, and especially a lot of women are coming in and asking questions about their hair. They're asking questions about why is my hair thinning in this area? I'm not really sure what's going on. And when we really start to dive deeply into their past and their situation, we're finding out a lot of times, I'm finding out a lot of times that it's been from medications, it's been from hormonal imbalances, it's also been from just past experiences. And a lot of times, it takes the body about probably about 3 months to catch up to what happened 3 months prior. So in my case, I was put on a medication. It's called medroxyprogesterone, which is basically just a pill form with a Depo-Provera shot. And for me, it was prescribed for really heavy periods. And a lot of women, I'm sure, have experienced the same thing. One thing I didn't know was that one of the side effects of this medication is it actually causes your hair to fall out. Now, I started taking this medication the end of 2019, probably like around the holidays, like around Thanksgiving, Christmas. And the original dosage was to take it 10 milligrams, like one pill a day, but you can take up to four a day. I wasn't really noticing any changes with my cycle. My cycle was still very heavy. So I started taking more of the medication. Now, fast forward to probably March, that's when I really started noticing changes in my hair. Now, I had braids in my hair from the end of September up until just the end of the year. When I took my hair down, my hair was luscious, it was full, and I will share pictures with that later so you all can kind of see the progress of my hair. My hair was really full, I had lots of length to it. It was amazing. What you expect after you come out of a protective style, right? Now, I really didn't start noticing the changes with my hair until probably like February, beginning of March. Now, when I would shampoo my hair, I was literally like clumps were coming out. And I'm going to kind of show you an example of this. And this is clean hair, and this was from one hair wash. This is not normal for me. This was from one hair wash. I want to say it was probably like the end of February or something like this. Yeah. See, that's not normal for me. Now, this is probably normal if you're coming out of protective style and you haven't combed your hair because of your hair's in braids for like 3 or 4 months. Oh, that's to be expected. But at this time, I was shampooing my hair weekly. That's a lot of hair to lose. And like I said, this was not my normal. And I knew straight up that something was off, something was wrong. So I listened to my intuition and I took myself off that medication and started to delve a little bit deeper into what I could do to try to mitigate the situation. Now, the other thing I'm going to get into is when women have really heavy periods, obviously there is going to be another side effect of that, and that's going to be anemia. And when you have low ferritin levels, or you have low iron stores, or when you have anemia, that affects so many different parts of your body, because your blood is like the life force. It flows through everywhere. And especially in our scalp has so many blood vessels that go through the scalp that feed the hair, that if it's not getting what it needs, well, guess what? Because your hair is kind of like um, third fiddle to your major organs, is not going to get everything that it needs, right? So I went in and I had some blood work done, and I found out that I was pretty anemic. So what I started doing is I started taking iron pills, iron supplements, and this is actually a brand that I started using. And now, before, I was taking iron supplements that were more kind of like a vegetarian base, but that really wasn't working for me. And if any of you all are kind of like old school, or you know, grew up and had parents or grandparents that would fix like liver and onions on the regular, do know that that works. And the reason why is because organ meat tends to have higher levels of iron. That's where the iron content is higher, is in those meats. So a lot of old school doctors would actually recommend that, like liver and onions, or you could do, you know, different types of eggs and things like that. But for me, I didn't want to go down that route. So I just decided to do the iron supplement that I'm showing here, and this actually has what I needed. So when you take your iron, make sure that it has also like the other vitamins in it too, like the vitamin C, um, the B vitamins, because that helps your body to absorb. Like, you just can't do straight iron by itself. It needs other iron or other vitamins and minerals together to help bind it, for your body to be able to consume it. So I've been taking this since the beginning of the year. My iron levels miraculously have gone up, which I'm very happy about. And then I've also, from blood work, I also found out that I was very deficient in vitamin D. Most people of color are deficient in vitamin D. That is a known fact, especially people of African descent, or even like Hispanic, Latino. That is a fact that we are vitamin D deficient, and especially in light of COVID, most of us have been inside, and we're not getting the doses of sunshine that we need on a regular basis. So, with being deficient in vitamin D, that also plays a factor with your hair as well, which I didn't know. So, these are all things that I'm learning, and I learned about myself. And so I wanted to share that to you as my fellow salon professionals, because you will have women sitting in your chair that will be experiencing the exact same thing, and you don't want to feel helpless. It's like you want to be able to help them. So for me, because I had my levels checked, it was recommended that I take vitamin D. Actually, vitamin D is a hormone. It helps to stimulate other things in your body. So if you don't have vitamin D, if you are deficient in vitamin D, if you suspect, you may not know, this is a test that most doctors won't test for. You sometimes have to ask for it. And if you happen to work with a really good PA or holistic therapist that kind of focuses on things like this, a lot of times they will be the ones that will pick it up. And for me, that was the case. It was a holistic practitioner that picked up my deficiency in vitamin D and had the labs ordered, and that's what we found out. So I'm taking this. Now, last night, well, actually 2 days ago, I just took down a set of box braids I had in for the summer. And let me tell you that my hair has come a long way, because before, I really wasn't able to do anything. There was a lot that I wasn't able to do with my hair. I mean, my hair had broken off so much, you all, so much, that I couldn't twist it. It had broken off at the root. I'm just going to see if I can show you pictures, and if not, then I will post. I will actually post something later, so you can kind of see how far I came and everything that transpired. So I'm sharing my story with my community to let you all know that yes, when your clients sit in your chair and they're telling you their story of their hair going through changes, or they just can't understand why their hair is thinning all of a sudden, don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to look into the possibility, especially if it's a woman, look into the possibility of hormones, because hormones play such a huge factor, and we're so sensitive when it comes to our hormones. So for younger women that are on birth control, that are on IUDs, that are on Depo shots, that are doing anything like that, just know that that is more than likely is going to be a side effect, is the hair really thinning or the hair coming out. But also realize too that once that situation is over, or maybe the medication has changed, the hair will and the body will naturally bounce back, but it's going to take some time. And that's going to be something to kind of, help your clients understand, is to be patient, that it didn't happen overnight, that it's going to take time for the hair to bounce back. But as long as you give the body what it needs, you have the proper nutrition, you are taking everything that, the minerals and vitamins that your body might be deficient in. Give your body what it needs, and in turn it will do what it needs to do. Slow and steady wins the race. You just have to be patient with it, and that is why I wanted to share my story. So if anybody has used Depo-Vera, if anybody is using Depo besides just for birth control, but for periods, just be mindful that that is one side effect. And if that is a side effect that you are not cool with, talk to your doctor about it and ask if you can be put on something else. Or you could be like me, like, hey, you know what, I'm going to take myself off of it and just do something else. And I am the type of person that studies, that researches, and takes my health into my hands and in control, and asks questions and looks for alternative answers that aren't as invasive. I don't really care for a lot of chemicals in my body, as far as, with medications and things like that. If there's something that I can use that's different, that's not as harsh on my system, by all means, that's my first choice. But if I'm past the point and I need something more aggressive, then that's where I will go. So I'll end this segment. If you all have questions, please leave a comment. Let's get this conversation started. A lot of women are really struggling with their hair right now, and we as salon professionals, we have so much influence that we can help our clients to sit in their chair, give them their confidence, give them answers, direct them into the right direction of where they need to go. And a lot of times we see things before their medical professionals see it, because we see them on the regular. We see them once a month, every week, every so many weeks, and we can gradually see the changes with their hair. And let us be mindful and not be afraid when these situations come up. So I encourage you to do your research, to read up on how hormones affect the hair, to read up on how anemia affects the hair, and to read up on how different disorders affect the hair, especially with women. Let's get a conversation started. I'd be more than happy to talk about it, because that is my wheelhouse. I love it. I eat, breathe, sleep it all day, every day. But yes, so I just wanted to share that with you, and this was my progress. But listen to the full story instead of fast forwarding through everything. And yeah, leave your comment below, share the video, and definitely Melanie Day with You've Got Curls and Hair Loss Center, located in Lexington, Kentucky. Website is www.gotcurls.com, GOTCURLS.com. Until next time, smile, keep smiling, show kindness, love. See you next time, everybody.